When first thought, submit spirit before matter. Our celestial humanity arrives, awakening in the dream, an inception of our reality. So we live, we love, and then there is music. So we dance, we sing, we pray, we reflect. In the infinite in between, the now that was, faces dance in our dreams. Some familiar, some
Ascended Visions Radio.
cosmic composition. In the irrelevance of this time, we realize the passion of the random action, learning the lesson that the brotherhood of man is far more important than the ego of any individual. Imagination becomes the sound of thought and traveling at the speed of light. So we paint on the canvas of our ephemeral encounters, a masterpiece of memory that lives in the eternity of a child's. Okay. So, what do you think about the importance of child development as it relates to Proverbs 22:6? Train up a child in the way he should go, and as he is old, he will not soon depart from it.
I think it's very important in child development because the word that's most important in that verse is train up, which means that as the authority figure or the adult, it's your responsibility to always lift that child up and train them and not be responsible for if they choose different when you have chose to raise them up properly.
Okay. So, what is some life lessons that you can instill in the child that are key to shaping some of their minor and major thought processes as far as major decisions in life?
Okay. One of the main things is what I was taught as a child, and one of those things is don't follow the crowd and make decisions based on outcome. You make a decision and you have to tell yourself, now what is the outcome? What are the consequences of this decision? That's like some major thing. And then I'm going to be honest with you. To me, letting a child experience fun is, people think it's minor, and it may be minor just to let them play and have fun, but it will prove to be healthy and peaceful later on in life. So giving them a lot of opportunity to just experience fun, sports and reading, and even sleeping can be fun if they need to get enough of it. Teaching them how to cook. It may be fun as a child, but as they grow older, it will be something that sustains them. I know a lot of people who cannot cook, and they said their parents never gave them that experience as children. And, I don't know how you survive not knowing how to do those things. And then giving children space to be alone in their thoughts, be alone in how to formulate decisions, and say to them, now, what would you do in this situation, instead of telling them. Those are just, a few things.
Okay. Can you tell us about the ministry at the mission, how it started, and leading up to Melita's Kids, and also what Melita's Kids is all about? So a little bit about what the ministry and how the start of the mission began.
Okay. In 1964, the Clark family lived in southwest Detroit, and our address literally was 2993 South Beatrice. We lived off of Visca Road. I was 10 years old at the time. My father came home and he told the family that God had called him into the ministry, and this ministry would have us to move to the north end of Detroit, which I knew nothing about. And we lived in what was considered a black middle-class neighborhood, and my father told us that we would be moving to a very poor neighborhood, and that he had been given a house by some suburban churches. One of the ladies in the church had given the house and said she wanted it to be used for ministry. So our family moved to 7826 Melrose, to this house, which at the time was a 4 apartment complex. And so the people had moved out, and my parents were responsible for renovating the building into a home. I remember this caused me a lot of distress, because at the age of 10, I was leaving my neighborhood, I was leaving my friends, and I didn't really understand what was going on. My father, in the beginning, had rented a storefront building, and in renting this building, he went through the neighborhood and let the people know that he would be starting a ministry that would not only help the neighborhood, but it would also serve as a church on Sundays. So they stayed in that building for a couple of years, and then the Jim Handy Corporation was moving out of the neighborhood, and they had a building where they used to make car commercials. And so some suburban churches purchased this building and helped my father to turn it into Detroit's Afro-American Mission. We did not know as a family, but it was later on revealed that my father had taken a vow of poverty in order to really be a part of the neighborhood, et cetera, et cetera. Well, that in turn is why we grew up in this neighborhood, just as poor, if not poorer, than the people in the neighborhood. But God always blessed and sustained us. And my father was in charge of basically the adults and taking care of their needs, both spiritual and physical. There was a food and clothing ministry at Detroit Afro-American Mission. And as a matter of fact, the very first title of the mission was Detroit's Little Africa. And then it was changed, I think it was after the riots in 67, to Detroit's Afro-American Mission. Anyway, my father handled the adults, and my mother handled the women and children. And her ministry is where I had my biggest learning experience, because my mom would go to different homes and she would help the women learn how to cook. She would help the women learn how to clean their homes. She would provide food, clothing, and she always had some type of a Bible study in the homes. And this was a way of not only getting the people to join the mission, but also to teach them and train them. Well, one thing my mother noticed was in the summertime, the African-American children, was all in the city, didn't have any place to go, and basically was kind of miserable. And another thing was going on at the same time. Caucasian churches were trying to integrate somewhat in like their camping program and things like that. So they would always call my mother and ask if she knew any kids who would want to go to camp. And my mother would always send us. And so that's how, one, I got a love for camping and the whole experience. And two, from being there, my mother was like, I have a desire to take some children camping. So this took quite a while. It was a dream that was often deferred, but it was never given up on. So in 1986, my mother really prayed about it and said, look, if it's going to happen, we just going to have to make it happen. So she took 15 adults and 30 children, and she went to a camp. She rented a camp that basically cost nothing because the people knew her. It was called Good News Bible Camp in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And for a week, she literally started a camping program, came up with it just on a whim. She learned how to put together a program. She learned how to put together menus for eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks. She learned how to put together a sports program. She literally just winged it and put together a camping program that everyone loved. And that was the start of Melita's Kids Camp. Well, in 1988, my mother got very, very sick, and she couldn't continue the camping program, but she had prayed about it, and she had asked me if I would do it. And I said, yes, I would do it. And we started going to Huron Forest Camp Carrot, which was rented out for 1 week. And in those years, we would take anywhere from as low as 50 to 100, as high as 140 people 1 week at camp. And we'd always have to recruit. We'd have to recruit, never have to recruit kids, but we'd have to recruit staff. And it was daunting, but it came about, and it worked. So after years of being at Huron Forest Camp Carrot, we switched to Bear Lake Bible Camp in 1994. And we went to Bear Lake Bible Camp from 1994 to 2018. And at that camp, we enjoyed a real good relationship with the people who ran that camp. And we would always spend camp the third week in August. That was our week. And by this time, we had a full program. We had a full staff. Literally had our own nursing staff, our own water safety instructors, all of our counselors. We had a full kitchen staff, and it was just, a wonderful experience. And we literally had a full program that ranged from after breakfast in the morning, the children would have devotions. They would clean up the cabin. They went to 2 classes a day. They had group activity. We had campfire in the evening. We had picture taking day. It was just a full-fledged program. And then in 2018, the camp changed its leadership, and the new people who came in did not know us, and I don't think they had an understanding and a love for us as the only African American group that rented that camp, and the relationship never developed. So we left Bear Lake Bible Camp after all of those years, from 1994 until 2018, and we found a new camp called Spring Ministries up in Gladwin, Michigan. And up in Gladwin, Michigan, we held our same program. We had our own cook staff, our own dish staff, our own cleaning staff, counselors, junior counselors, activity directors, full nursing staff, and it was just, and full water safety instructor, and it was a wonderful experience.
Was this before or after Circle Y?
Oh, Circle Y, we never rented Circle Y, and we never, we just sent kids to Circle Y for training and for camp. That was our relationship with Circle Y. The mission never rented Circle Y out. We just sent kids there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, anyway, we had a wonderful experience with Spring Ministries in 2019, and then, of course, in 2020, there comes COVID, and so our camping program has been somewhat halted. We don't know what the future will hold. So, we had no camp in 2020 because of COVID, and so that's basically, the camping program.
Okay. So the website is still MalilaKids.com when it gets back up, right? If it goes, but when it goes back up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Absolutely.
That's wonderful. How has this made you feel, and with your family? What has it instilled in the members of your family as far as the ministry of the mission and all of its connections, and how have they grown?
Okay. One, my children, grew up in camping program, and my children grew up in the mission. So my children know and have a sense of service. It was ingrained in them, and even when they were grown and had the option to do what they wanted to do. My son Terry would always go up to camp, not only to be a help for me, but he would be our security, and he would work with teenagers. And so, in summer, not only has gone to camp and been a counselor and things, also sent her children to camp. Two of them, they're grown and go to camp. Her oldest son, he has always been a counselor, and he works very well with autistic children. And her middle son, he has gone up and worked security with his uncle. They just know the service is the way to go. They've never argued about it, or it's always been something they look forward to doing. So, it's just normal, regular business for them.
How has the mission and Rosedale and all the connections that the mission has instilled a sense of consciousness relatively compared to the other schools of thought as far as intellectualism and activism and whatnot? What kind of values has the mission instilled comparable to community service by other, not in opposition or anything like that, but as what has it has to offer comparable to other streams of community service, whether it be Job Corps or any of those things like that? What has it had to offer?
Okay, in the past, the mission has been able to help people get jobs. The mission has been able to be a teaching tool. The mission has been able to help people in their education to go on beyond just regular high school, and has helped them in their endeavors to pursue higher education. And the mission has given them a sense of, you know what, cannot always depend on other people to come through for you. You need to learn how to be self-sufficient, how to take care of yourself, how to get a job. The mission has taught people how to fill out job applications, and really giving them a sense of pride in themselves. That's the one thing I could say that I really appreciate about the mission is the sense of you need to take care of yourself. You need to know how to do. The mission has never really been into politics, but they've always taught people to have pride in themselves, and they've always taught people to be able to conquer. Like if you have a drug addiction and you through our counseling program, they've been able to help people establish. So that's just that's just a little bit of the things that as a pillar in the community, the mission has always stood for. With God, anything is possible.
Amen. That's what's up. That's what's up. And one last question. How has, or with the current and all the years that the mission has been in service, how has music affected you, and how important is music to you, and the service of to human beings?
Okay, first of all, I don't know if I could breathe without music. That's how important music is to me. There are times when I cannot pray. There are times when I cannot read the Bible. There are times when I cannot hold conversation. But it is music that has soothed my soul. It is music that has calmed down. It is music that makes me to have a restful sleep. Anybody that knows me knows music is vital. And I mean this, and I've been married 44 years. Music is probably the one component in my life that if I did not have, I would die. Now let me explain something. I have gone to Kenya, Africa, every year since 2000. When I couldn't go to Kenya this year, after thinking I would lose my mind because Kenya was off the books because of COVID, I literally went in and looked up all African music. I have been playing African music since March of 2020.
You too, huh?
Yeah, I have to have it.
Yeah.
And
I like
even
all of it. I like all of it.
yeah, and even when I change and put on some different kind of music, trust me, I always end up putting it right back on the African music because that has penetrated my soul so much since going there. And I gotta hear the children sing, and so music. And I'm telling you, I listen to all music. I mean, literally, I even know because of college, going to all white college, I even listen to rock. So I can tell you about music from the Beatles, the Eagles, the Temptations, the Supremes.
Have you heard Mary J. Blige Stairway to Heaven yet?
Oh, singing her behind off.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And so that's basically my life.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can't stand on my life without music. I can't. And I mean, it was my brother David taught me about jazz. And this is really weird. It's a man who's now deceased, but his name was Robert Alexander. He taught me about the blues. I mean, I you name it, and I'm not really sure who taught me about classical blues. I think I just fell in love with it, and so music. I can't live without music.
That's what's up. One more question.
Uh-huh.
What is love and what does it mean to the world as far as its salvation?
As far as his salvation,
Yeah.
I really believe my definition of love is when you give yourself, but you've never given away. And I truly believe that when one is in love with themselves, then they share that experience and they don't even think about it. They just do it. And it's a part of their life. So then you have to tell yourself, in that thing, if you're giving yourself away and you don't even know it, then you are automatically saving people with no consequence. You're not saving them because, oh, I'm a good person. I'm saving them because I gotta do this. You're saving them with no consciousness because that's who you are. So to me, that's what love is. You're not thinking about yourself, but you are saving yourself. I hope you understand that.
Yeah. So in saying that, what is the 21st century family and what does it look like for the future going forward?
Good question. People giving of themselves without wanting back. Yeah, and so that could be, that's, you can't say, you can't say these two people got together, that ain't no real family. Or this person's taking care of that person, that ain't no real family. You can have a caregiver taking care of an older person. That's family. That's family. So you have to tell yourself, in today's world, family is who takes care of who, who's there for who. That's family. you can't say it's blood or people who are married. It's, you know what? It's people taking care of people.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you very welcome. Yeah. When you want me to read it?
Go ahead.
Oh, but I can't go yet. I gotta go get my reading glass. Oh, boy. Hold on. You know I'm an old lady. Well, no, Lord, what am I doing? Okay. I can't do it. I'm an old lady. I do have my reading glasses. What I did with her? Wait a minute. Maybe I took them in there when I went to find the Bible. Oh, yes, I need it. Okay. It's not titled.
Okay.
Okay. Just tell me when to start.
Go ahead.
Refusing to accept now, I am faced with the possibility of life in denial. I watched her as a child, this strong, beautiful, narrow, cream-colored woman I call mother. I watched everything, a full day of her. Folding clothes, cooking dinner, fussing, smiling, lying down, baking pies, loving children, being there for him. I watch her make food from nothing, clothes from pieces, hugs from tears, kisses from heartache. She found love in everything, knowing little of her time, gaining passion and hopes and dreams. I watch her as a teenager, angry that she is my mother, giving me little to no room to get away with food. I watch as she sees beyond my steel, dark, mean eyes. She loves me. She holds me. She makes me all right. I watch her love him, he who bore most of my pain. I watch her as she guides me straight and even, narrow roads that I want to widen. I watch her as a young woman, so free and independent, feeling she can no longer teach me. But she does, as always she will. Lessons in life, words not from books, warnings from no emergency, memories from heart, not just mine. I married early, soon baby. These precious lives confuse me, so I mimic her and finally find my way. I watch her still. I watch her now. She has become someone other than this strong, beautiful, narrow, cream-colored woman I call mother. I watch her with eyes of one who will take care of her and bury her. I watch the frail, timid, now shy body that learns how to die. I close my eyes. I want to welcome denial, refusing to accept now.
Yeah, I think so. All right. We're here at the first Sunday family dinner, and we here with Kelly Horn, daughter of my brother, the fourth sibling of the Crosses, Timothy Cross, and we're going to ask her some questions. First question, what has the Cross-Hohen relationship meant to you over the years?
Far as what? Far as
Just anything, just general, in general.
Well, it means family, and family is extremely important in today's society. It means relating. It means coming together and celebrating big moments. It means carrying on a legacy, a very wonderful legacy.
Okay. And what has your parents meant to you in your growth and development?
I think pretty much who I am is based on how my parents raised me. I would say a good 75-80% of who I am is primarily about Tim and Celeste. And, the way I rear my children is based on how my mama and my dad reared me.
All right, Tim and Celeste. Tim and Celeste, with her mother and father, Celeste. And the next question I'm going to ask you is a pretty big one. What has Haman and Melita Cross meant to you, your grandparents, Haman and Melita Cross? What have they meant to you? You can start with either one first.
That's a loaded question. That's a lot. Okay. I don't know how I can put it into words. Everything. Start with granddaddy and understanding scripture and applying it, and hospitality. If I had to sum up both of them together, I would say hospitality. And never turning, people away and seeing a need and supplying that need. I can't imagine the things that I do today, and when I think about like how I'm involved with my church, and I run our children's ministry, and that's only because of what my grandparents have done and what I've seen them do, and I just automatically, it's just like I'm like a natural leader, and that's because of them. I know it's because of them. Things need to get done at the church, or just anywhere, even on my job, when I was working, I was just a natural leader. I would always kind of rise to the occasion and say, okay, I'll do it, and it'll get done. And a lot of that leadership and that hospitality that I have for others comes from having Melita and Haman as grandparents. They were the only grandparents that I knew. My mom's mom died when I was like 2, so I only had granddaddy and granny, and just being able to go over there and spend a night and just having one-on-one time when you can. It meant everything. Everything. I still have books of hers that she's given me. She used to mail to me while I was in college. And I would call her up when I had a problem, and she would, mail me something specifically for that.
Wow.
That's just, it's an amazing legacy, and I'm honored to be part of it, and I hope to only continue that.
What's your fondest memories of Granny?
Fondest memories of Granny. So many. I can still remember how she smells. I remember her perfume. I remember her trying to teach me how to sew, and I didn't get it. I guess one of my fondest memories would have to be of the Christmas story in the mystery trips, and how even though she had like a gazillion grandchildren, she would still find the time to be with you. And I remember us having lunch when I was 13. And she giving me a necklace, and having a talk about purity and everything. Those are some of my fondest memories of her.
Okay. Any words of advice to your children or the next generation coming behind you of cousins and the nieces and nephews? What would you say?
Don't forget where you came from. Don't forget whose legacy that you're part of. Keep that going, and keep God first. Keep family first, definitely. and always remember who you are. You're part of a awesome family that is unlike any other, I believe, in the whole world.
That's true.
That, one that can say, even though you don't see each other as often, it's just almost as like stepping back into, old shoes. It's just comfortable, it's just kind of always keeping that legacy going on, and remember who you represent at all times, So.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Two more questions. First question, what is your fondest memory of 7826 Melrose?
So many. Christmas Eve, and Granny used to did the Flannograph story, and New Year's Day. We go over there for New Year's Day, and I don't know. As a kid, I thought the house was so big.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my God! And when I think about it later, when I think about it later, as I got older, I saw it not as big. Auntie Tammy out there. I didn't realize it was not that big, but I thought there was like a gazillion rooms.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seemed like there was like 50 rooms there.
Yeah.
But
it used to be an old boarding house and turned into a house.
Just, I don't know. And then just being able to go over there whenever you wanted to. Oh, and then after, when you go to the mission and you feel like being at church, you just go over there. You go through the back door and you just go upstairs and go to school. Right? Yeah, skipping out on Sunday school, whatever, and I don't know, the sewing rooms upstairs, her sewing room upstairs, and I don't know, just a lot. And Toby, and I don't know, just the loudness and the lights. It was always lights.
Yeah, I remember Toby. I still have dreams about Toby, my dog. That was the first dog I had. That was mine, but.
And the other dogs, King and
Keela.
How many kids?
Jeremiah, it was just King and Keela. And then you had Jeremiah and Snoopy and Zip and.
It was just always full of life.
Yeah. Okay, another question. We all like music and connoisseurs of music. So, what is your favorite song? If you have a favorite song, and something like any genre, what does music mean to you?
Well, my mom sings. Her mom sang, so music is, everything. I grew up with my mom always singing, and it was strange because as a little girl, I knew all jazz standards. I still knew everything that was going on, like pop-wise and R&B-wise, but I was the only little girl I know who knew all of Nat King Cole songs and whatnot, because my mom would sing them a lot. And just being able to go with her whenever she ministered, and hearing her voice always moves me when she sings. Music is a lot. I can't sing. I can carry a tune, but I'm not one to blow up the spot or anything like that. But Tabitha sings, my mom sings, Brittany sings, Rachel sings. So music has always kind of been a part of me. Favorite song? That's hard. I don't know. So many. I know I would probably have to say My Funny Valentine. Probably have to be my favorite song.
Okay.
Because that's my mom always singing some jazz songs in the house growing up.
Okay.
That's probably one of my favorite songs.
All right. Thank you very much. As Kelly Horn, daughter of Timothy and Celeste, and this is we are here at the First Sunday's Dinner interview. So, Thank you very much. Okay. Here at the First Sunday Family Dinner, my brother David Cross House. I got my cousin Ronnie here. I'm going to ask him a couple of questions about family and upbringing and Big Mama Pop and whatnot. Cuz, what has the Cross Guards family connection meant to you?
Oh, it goes deeper than I guess most people would say about their family. Our families have always been close. You know, the older ones, I can remember back in the days when I was young, you know, watching each other grow up, being around my uncles and aunties and my cousins, is just beautiful. You know, just, we have a beautiful, still close-knit family.
Okay. What is your fondest memory of Big Mama Papa, Eugene Guards and Natalie Guards?
Well, the chief and Big Mama, wasn't like they ain't take no stuff. And Papa was always, I guess, you know, I ain't gonna say strict, but he ain't take no stuff. Big Mama was as loving as any grandmama could be. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, as far as grandparents go, I consider them on the high level as far as grandparents go. Like mama and them used to bring us over there, and they brought us over there to get disciplined, learn about our family. You know what I'm saying? And learn how to do things. That's what it's all about. Big Mama.
What's your fondest memory of Papa?
Papa? Woo! I remember he used to make that old granddad. Taking a sip and him and Big Mama getting there, you know, as far as, I ain't gonna say arguments, but they little conversations that took of me. And she would get up and say, Gina, you out of stock, man. And he, you know, Big Mama, Papa did, you know, he said, Mom, you better go on about your business. And, you know, it's just nothing, man. You know, I look in my mind and stuff about Papa, man. I got a lot of strength from him. Because some of the stories he used to tell us about when he was growing up, I'm proud to say our granddaddy didn't take no stuff.
Like what story? You know, the story in particular?
More or less, you know, I can't specifically say, but you know, it's about, you know, him raised, you know, them raised in the South, dealing with the white folks. And you know, how he stood his ground. You know, he took, you know, that, you know, I ain't gonna go into no certain details, but you know, I can't remember never. But he didn't take no stuff.
Okay. What has your parents, my auntie Wolverine and Uncle Louis, and my parents, your Uncle Heyman and Aunt Melita meant to you?
They meant as far as family go, they would always show us and tell us, stay close and be close to family. Nothing like that. Okay, and Mama was single, Daddy there. We took us. They came up to visit them. They treated us just like this. Even though we were their niece and nephews, it was just like we were sons and daughters too. That's how they raised us.
And you being a music connoisseur, the last question I'm asking you, what is a favorite song or genre or you know, what has music really meant to you in your life?
Oh, a lot. I can go back my day growing up in the 60s, 70s, The Temptations, Marvin Gaye, Diana Ross, Smokey Robinson, The Miracles, and then come up there like Prince and Michael Jackson, and the Jackson 5, and jazz like, you know, Dollar Bird, and Quincy Jones, and a lot of them, man. It's just, you know, music has been a lot of music. You know, just music back then was better than I consider today. Rap, I ain't really into rap today, my name, you know, I couldn't figure it out. But that's their time. Our music is better. Still back then and real today.
All right. Thank you very much.
No problem, sir.
You got any special words you would like to say family.
I just want to say I'm thankful and grateful and proud of being blessed with a family like you guys. And I love them all dearly, you know, even though I don't see a lot of them as much as I would like. But when I do see them, it's just like it was yesterday. And I pray for each and every one of us, each and every day. And I have nothing but love for each and every one member of my family. Gaza, Bowden, Crossing, Penn, the ones in Chicago, the Allen, whatever. I love my family, you know. I'll have to speak on that. I think I come from one of the greatest families in the world.
Yes, indeed. All right. Cousin Ronnie.